Huh? You can. I mean, that's fine. What's going on? BW Sports One, the Lion here in Billings, Montana, and we now have the young assassin. I don't know if we consider you young anymore, man. You're my age.
Doesn't matter. When I became the young assassin, I was 16 years old. So I turned pro, and that's when, one day I was in the gym, I was like, man, I got to give myself a cool, badass nickname. I always wanted to be an assassin. I love assassin movies, and that's kind of how my nickname came about.
All right, well, there you go. Melvin Guillard getting ready for his BKFC Fight Night main event fight against Joe Riggs. Obviously we've had some situations in your past couple fights where it is what it is. It falls the wrong way both times.
Right.
And what are you looking forward to
That's
now?
because it was Mississippi, bro. You got to understand
there's
something,
a difference,
man.
isn't there?
I'm from the South, and it's crazy because I'm like right next door to where I fought in Biloxi. And literally, I grew up in New Orleans, and even before the UFC, when I was fighting down there for the FFC, I've had a couple of controversial calls by the boxing commission in Mississippi. I don't know what it is with those guys, man, but I love fighting down there because it's close to home.
Right.
You know what I mean? But man, if I gotta keep going down there and getting robbed to fights, it's gonna make me not want to fight there no more.
Now you're in Billings.
Yeah. Well, but you know
came
what?
to the opposite side of the state.
But you know what? I was 17 years old when I met Joe Riggs in Kalispell, Montana. I won my first title at 17. It kind of came back full circle to be fighting him in Montana. And when we first met, we both were 17 at the time. So it's kind of cool. It's surreal. I'm looking forward to it, though.
Yeah. Now, it's obviously Joe's recently came into bare knuckle. You've been doing bare knuckle for a while now. You do it overseas.
About 7 years, yeah.
And now you're back here. What's the difference in fighting overseas with a different organization and compared to BKFC as far as rules or anything like that?
Well, there is one rule that I do know that I can spot on is that they have a standing 20 count. Mm-hmm. In BKB, if a guy getting knocked down, he gets 20 seconds to get up, which I think is it's all right. I don't know, but I've seen guys not get up from 20 count over there. I think here it's 10. But either way, it's all about the same. Fighting is fighting. I don't really get too much into the what's worse or what's, because everybody's like, oh man, bare knuckle looks so much brutal. Well, technically with MMA, you got knees, elbows, kicks, submissions. You got so many things to worry about. Me, I'm a knee and elbow specialist, so one thing I do like about bare knuckle is that you're allowed to clinch. You're allowed to clinch and punch, which is a little bit different from regular standard boxing. So I love that about the sport too. So you can get in there. There's a couple of little judo moves that I learned that I can use in bare knuckle, just to get me out of a situation to actually throw a punch. So hopefully
kind
you guys,
of like a hip toss without the toss.
Pretty much. So hopefully you guys will get to see a little bit of that with this fight with Joe Riggs, man. Because like I said, Riggs is a game opponent. He's a good fight for me. I win this fight. Honestly, I should be looking at a title shot. But I don't want just a decision. It's got to be a knockout.
You want to make sure that this time around there's no DQ and there's a finish on your side, right?
Yeah, right. But it is what it is, man. But the good thing about Montana is that I heard just recently that they don't really have a commission here. So
they brought in
they brought in somebody to sanction it. But to me, that screams underground. So this is like some. Go get your suitcase full of money, come place your bets ringside, and let's see what happens.
There you go. Now, you were telling us before we jumped on here what you have as far as an idea goes after your fighting is done. You're holding a nice looking stogie.
Yeah.
What are you thinking about doing after your fighting career?
Probably open up a couple of cigar shops. One definitely needs one bad. But I'm thinking about that, and then of course open a couple of gyms. My first gym that I'm going to open though is going to be back home in New Orleans in Kenner. I've had offers to open gyms other places, but I won't do it until I actually get to open one at home first. I want to get back to my neighborhood, to the kids where I grew up at. Because I didn't have a lot of opportunities when I was growing up. My parents couldn't afford it,
right?
So I wrestled. High school wrestling was free. So became state champion, did that. And then as I was wrestling in middle school, I wrestled for my high school for 8 years because my middle school didn't have wrestling. So with that, I couldn't go to like a karate dojo or nothing like that. So the next best thing was a boxing gym. I started doing that, and then next thing I knew, I found myself doing Friday night fights at the main event, underground fights. And it was cool because I was only a 16-year-old kid in bars.
Fight Club.
Yeah, Fight Club, man. My dad was always with me. He was, my dad was everything to me. And he literally signed my license when I was 16, gave me permission.
Yep.
And that's how I became pro at 16, So there's a lot of backstory to my long career, I have over 200 fights already. And a lot of people ask me, man, how'd you get so many fights? Well, I've been fighting pro since I was a kid. You know what I mean? I didn't, and I never really had an amateur career. I just jumped right into it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, a lot of these guys, they spend.
It's a little different than signing a consent form for a tattoo compared to signing the letter for
Man, my
to
dad
fight
said,
pro.
"Is this what you want to do, son?" I said, "Yeah, man, hell yeah." And
Obviously, you knew you were ready for it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I was born ready, man. Like
Right.
I was the aggressive kid growing up. I was the aggressive son of 5 brothers, 2 sisters. So, for me, I mean, it came second nature, you know what I mean? But I was always the protector too. I always protected my brothers and sisters. So that's just who I am.
Well, we cannot wait to see you fight. BKFC Fight Night 1 coming tomorrow night from Billings, Montana. Really quick, I got to bring you. You've never been on Combat Zone, so I got to bring you through Rapid Knockout. Rapid Knockout, 5 questions, has absolutely nothing to do with the fight game. You can elaborate on whatever you'd like. You ready?
Yeah.
Question number 1, favorite food?
Crawfish.
Crawfish. All right. I got one problem with crawfish. I get
What?
the boil. I got the shrimp in it. I got this, that. And then you got this damn thing with the head still on. You got to suck the brain out and the eyes and all that shit.
Bro, that's the best part of the crawfish, though. When you just go eat the tail. So you just like to eat the ass, but not give it no head.
I knew that was coming. Oh, boy. We'll move on to question number 2 now.
Hey, you set yourself up for that.
I did.
One,
I opened the door completely. Question number 2. What is playing in Guillard's playlist? What's your go-to
Outkast.
music? All right.
Outkast, all-time favorite. Outkast, Goody Mob, Dungeon Family. They together.
People don't dance no more. All they do is this.
People don't know. If you're Outkast fan, everybody knows that Outkast and Goody Mob together was Dungeon Family. A lot of people don't know that.
Yeah, that's when they came out with the Black Ice.
That's my everyday. Well, Black Ice has been my walkout song for several fights. I honestly just picked the DMX song for this fight, but now that I'm thinking about it, I probably just go back to my traditional Black Ice because that's my shit, bro. Like that song just puts me in a mood. It put me in that vibe, you know what I mean?
I like it.
That's my shit. Matter of fact, I'm about to text Tony right now and tell him.
Switch it. He's switching back. He's going original. OG right here, Young Assassin. Question number 3. If it has nothing to do with fighting, training and all that, take that out. What's your favorite hobby to do on your downtime? Golf?
Golf, yeah.
Look at that. What's your handicap?
8. I'm 8.
Damn. He's got me beat. I suck.
I'm 8. I be whooping my coach's ass too. Yeah. We do. We go pound for pound, round for round, however you want to call it. But when it comes down to it, I always end up whipping that ass.
There you go.
Nah, he's got a good game too, though. I'm a
What's
lower,
the better part
I'm a
of your
lower
game?
handicap. Actually, chipping and putting now.
Okay.
But that's how you get your score down.
Yep.
Like, it doesn't matter how far you can hit the ball. I mean, I can hit the ball
long as you go
pretty
straight.
good. Right. But it's really all about accuracy. But I think chipping and putting is where you make your money on a golf course.
Yep. I agree. I tried to make my money on the putting green. Side bets real quick. Hey, how many you got? So.
Right.
Question number 4. Again, take fighting out of it and all that. If there was another sport that you would participate in, what would you go to?
Golf.
Yeah. All right. Do you like watching golf?
Oh, I love it. I watch golf all the time. Look, if you play, I didn't watch golf all the time either. My grandfather always did.
My grandpa always watched it.
I would always go in the room and I'd be like, Papa, why you watching these guys hit a ball in the hole? They make all that damn money. I'm getting my face smashed in sometimes, and I get way less. But when my judo coach, Dr. Ron Tripp, put gloves in my hand when I was 24, when I met him, I just fell in love with it. Once you start playing it and understanding it, then you'll watch it, and because you understand what you're watching.
I agree.
I didn't watch it when I was young because I didn't understand it.
Right.
But had somebody put golf clubs in my hand when I was in high school, I probably wouldn't have been a state champion. I probably would have been a golfer.
It's a lot easier on your body.
Yeah, but I just love the game, man. I mean, anybody that's an athlete, think about it. All the retired athletes, basketball players. I have a lot of friends back in Florida. Rich Hamilton, Eddie George, Chris Carter, Michael Irvin. I've played golf with all these guys, on a consistent basis. And to be honest, man, those guys can play, man. And they ex-basketball football players. If you're an athlete, picking up a golf club, when you retire from a sport is the normal thing that most guys do. You know what I mean? And a lot of business is made on golf courses. A lot of money can be made. I watch these guys play damn near $100 a hole. You know what I mean? It's crazy. The money that's transferred on a golf course.
Oh yeah. Where's the favorite course that you've played on?
Well, in Denver, my favorite course is Saddle Rock.
Okay.
But
You ever been to South Carolina?
No, I haven't.
Okay, so there's a place that my family goes to. It's called Kiowa Island. And it's got the ocean course on it. It's on the PGA Tour.
Okay.
They actually just had it back this past summer. One of the most beautiful courses I've ever seen.
Traveling and golfing I love doing that, man. I love just visiting.
I've never been able to play the course yet.
Yeah,
but I'm planning.
Well, the course Saddle Rock that I'm talking about in Colorado, it's actually a links course.
Okay.
It's not a lot of trees.
Right.
There's not a lot of hills to it,
Yep.
so you can hit into the hills and let it come down. I love it. When you can take the actual course and use the course to help you. I love courses like that.
When I get that good that I can aim for what I'm really wanting to do with the ball.
Go to Top Golf and practice.
I've never been to Top Golf.
That's what I was trying to tell you. Go to Top Golf, you can practice all day. All it is a driving range with targets on it.
Right.
That's all it is.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to go to Top Golf now.
You gotta check it out.
Fifth and final question.
Yeah.
Whether it be on the professional side, the sports entertainment, or the personal side of things, biggest role model growing up?
Kevin Randleman. Kevin Randleman was my biggest role model. He was the reason I started fighting. He's the reason I even fell in love with UFC. I remember watching him fight Boss Rutten in UFC Young Guns. I take it all the way back.
Was that your favorite Kevin Randleman fight?
No, it wasn't, because I was a fan of Boss Rutten too. He always looked like the little UFC guy in the ring. You ever noticed
That's exactly what it is.
Right. So, but Randleman was my idol, man. He's the reason I started fighting, and I idolized him, because I was a wrestler. That was before I was a striker too. I was coming out of high school just wrestling. So all my early fights, it was a lot of take guys down, ground and pound. As I started finding my way through the sport, Vitor Belfort's my second. So with Randleman, I picked up on the wrestling side. With the striking, I picked up from Vitor, and with those two, I mimicked them early in my career. And then years later, here come Anderson Silva. A lot of people didn't know who Anderson Silva was, but he fought Pele. I'm a student of the sport, but I can take it way back. I can talk about fights that a lot of people now don't even remember.
Oh yeah. Well, nowadays a lot of the kids nowadays watching the UFC don't even know what.
Right.
The,
Man, look,
what the
I used to go to Blockbuster Video and rent the tape.
You showing your age now.
I used to rent the tape, and then I would just stick one of my mama's church tapes in there and send it back and keep the UFC tape.
Thank God Blockbuster is gone, because this motherfucker probably owes a shit ton of money still. Man.
Yeah, I did. I used to keep the VHSs, man.
That's good, man. That's good. Studying.
Yeah.
Melvin, Young Assassin Guillard, BKFC Fight Night 1, Billings, Montana. He's going up against Joe Diesel Riggs in the main event tomorrow night. Melvin, thank you for your time coming on
guys,
Combat
man.
Zone. Give me a shout out, sponsors, anything you got out right now is your time.
Enhanced CBD, I'm gonna shout them guys out. Smith Brothers, my agency, and BKFC, man. I'm just happy that I found a home with Bare Knuckle, and it'll be prosperous, man. This will be probably my last fight at 85, which my last fight was supposed to be, but when I had a chance to fight Riggs, I'm like, shit, I'll take that fight. You know what I mean? Shit, I don't shy from no fight.
So you dropping down?
Yeah, I'm gonna drop to 75 for a while. My goal right now, honestly, I didn't get a chance to get a title shot in the UFC. My goal right now is to win a title in 2 weight classes.
Okay.
Whether it be 85-75 or 75-65, or maybe all 3. I don't know, but that's what I'm pushing for right now. You know what I mean? Before I retire, I gotta have something good to my legacy. You know what I mean?
Well, and I understand. Everybody wants the gold to add to their legacy and stuff. But Melvin, I think all of us sitting right here know that you've had a hell of a career, and that started back in, obviously 16 years old or something, but Known, I want to say what?
2005. Ultimate Fighter Season 2.
Okay.
05. That was 05.
So, I mean, we've seen you grow in in combat sports completely, and your legacy is here, brother. You know, good luck on your journey to get that belt. You know, we want to see it happen.
I mean, everything you do in life, you got to have an end game. You know what I mean?
You do.
And I'm 38 right now, but
how long you got?
I'm far from done, man.
What are you thinking?
No time
10
soon.
more years?
No time soon, man.
20?
I don't.
He's gonna be Tom Brady.
Honestly, I don't put an end date on it because I know one thing: when it's over, it's over. I mean, this was my childhood dream. I started doing this. I started competing when I was 14. Turned pro at 16. So for me, I don't ever want to think about when it's over because
it's been your life.
A lot of fighters, they come, they retire, and they come back. You know, I did my 2 years of retirement this past 2 years when I was winning and losing fights. You know, I wasn't training properly. I wasn't cutting weight. That's how I ended up at 85 fighting bare knuckle because I just was burnt out on cutting weight. You know, I mean, I cut weight my whole life pretty much.
Yeah.
Even when I played park league football, I was still cutting
run
weight.
the ball and all that.
Yeah. So I spent my whole entire life literally dieting, cutting weight. So I took my 2 years off from cutting. Me and my strength and conditioning coach, who's here with me now, we're gonna get on a different program, and I'm gonna start shedding back down slowly. I'm not gonna do I'm not gonna be doing no
30-pound weight
no
cut.
25, 30-pound weight cuts. No, I'm gonna keep it within a 10-pound range. So right now, after this fight, start working out different, a little bit different. Start keeping my weight. Right now, I walk around at about 88. I cut 3 pounds last night, just a short workout, literally.
One shit can do that.
I literally woke up this morning at 184.4. I've already made weight. So Riggs is still cut weight, actually. You know what I mean? He's a big 85er. You know, this is definitely going to be a David versus Goliath fight. You know what I mean? But as everybody know in that story, speed kills. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
Speed's a motherfucker. So for me, I'm not worried, man. I got my game plan. I know I've actually been studying Riggs' career without even knowing that I was going to fight him because he's a friend of mine. You know, I love watching him fight. I'm a fan of him. So, you know, I actually studied his career. I studied his fight style without even realizing one day I might fight Riggs. Because when we met when we were 17, I was a 155er. He was still a big boy, man. Riggs has always been a big guy, man. So coming into this, I never thought I was going to fight Joe Riggs. You know what I mean? But he's coming down to 85. I mean, I don't know if it's a hard or easy weight cut for him, but I know he's still cutting right now. I do know that. So I woke up on weight, you know, actually under, so I'm good.
He's got his tracksuit on, folks. He's ready. BKFC Fight Night 1.
His tracksuit
Look at that,
man. That's what hey, like you said, I'm an OG. I guess I'm an OG.
I'm gonna tell you right now, my 21-year-old son would love what you got on right now.
Man,
He loves
that's
the
all
Adidas.
I wear. That's all I wear is Adidas, man. You'll never catch me with no Nike check on me.
There you go.
Ever.
There you go. Melvin, young assassin Guillard, getting ready again. BKFC Fight Night 1 from Billings, Montana. Thank you again, brother, for coming on with me in Combat Zone. And we'll see you all very soon. The Lion, Guillard, we out.
Hey, could you